welcome to All Cards Wild, the podcast. I'm Seton here with Bennett, my guy. What's up, dude? How you doing?
Doing good, man. Living another life of this college madness, and
Dude,
it's about as good as it can get right now. So, doing pretty well myself. How about you?
I'm great. I'm great. I'm doing better than Penn State is right now, for
Yeah,
sure.
100%.
We might as well let's just jump right into some crazy games this weekend. A lot of
Yeah.
blowouts, some pretty big surprises, and I mean, most notably that UCLA Penn State.
Whew.
That is crazy.
Yeah, that was, I remember going into it. Yeah, I'm probably not going to watch this game. You look at 0-4 UCLA, and you have ranked Penn State that's supposed to have this bounce back game when they lost to Oregon, and not really sure where Penn State's defense went. I don't know if they just missed the bus or something like that happened, but UCLA played an unbelievable game. I will say that. Their quarterback, Nico, and I'm going to butcher this horribly, but I'm not even going to, I'll just say Nico. You know how, well, let's just say Nico. Nico played fantastic. UCLA
You know
actually,
how you know when you're getting really good is you just go by one name. So yeah, that's it. It's
yeah,
just Nico.
yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just gonna
Nico, yeah,
kind of
well,
like
yeah,
Cher.
yeah,
You know,
Nico
he's
for
the
now.
Cher of college football, really.
Nico for now, he played a great game, and UCLA actually looked nothing like 0-4. UCLA looked like a very comp football team. They played a great game. Penn State on offense also played a pretty solid game. It was just kind of one of those where it just was really shocking because you just look at the records and the ranks and you just don't really expect something like that. Now Penn State is unfortunately unranked now, so they have a long road to come if they want to try to sneak back into the playoffs. But I'm not sure if that can still happen. So that was a super crazy game. Um, should we move on to maybe Miami versus Florida State?
Yeah, Miami, Florida State. That was our game of the week
That was.
last week. As I've said before, I kind of like when football in Florida is good. I don't know
Mhm.
why. I think it's because of how I grew up, but it just feels right. Carson Beck continuing to have just
Yeah,
a
yeah.
fantastic season, a real bounce back season for him.
Huge bounce back for him. I mean, you look at watching this game, I don't think the box score and the stats really, or sorry, the score and the box score really actually show how dominant Miami looked in this game. Obviously, it was 28-22 to Florida State, and they kind of had some garbage time touchdowns. But realistically, Miami, for the most part of that game, looked dominant, and Carson Beck looked great. And going back to my boy Malachi Tony, who I said in the last podcast, I think this kid's going to go off, and he did go absolutely nuclear. I believe he had, now looking at it, 7 catches, 107 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And seeing to tell you this, I just found out this kid's 18 years old. And also with that being that he's 18 years old, he reclassed. He was supposed to be in the 2026 class and he reclassed down. So technically, we have a senior in high school going out and putting up 107 yards and 2 touchdowns against Florida State, which is unbelievable. I mean, I didn't even know that. And yeah, major respect. Shout out the senior in high school. That was great.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy. That's crazy. Man,
Super
like I'm
nuts.
kids growing when I was growing up, kids were not built like that.
Nope. No, yeah,
You
there's
know?
a whole new generation of these guys. You got Jeremiah Smith, you got Malachi Tony, DeCorian Moore.
Yeah.
These dudes are they're another level, and it is exciting to watch though because we're just getting better football out of it. So can't hate at all.
Yeah, no hate on that. Couple of disappointing performances from teams that we're sort of eyeballing to see if they're for real or not. Iowa State losing to Cincinnati,
Yeah, that was a
that's
bummer.
not going to work out well.
That's
Virginia holding up their end of the bargain though. I
hey
kind of love seeing that,
hey,
dude.
and
Like, all
guess
right, let's go.
and we got another overtime win for Virginia. I mean, just honestly, it's super cool to watch. You got this Cinderella story that like came in and beat Florida State, and now they just won against a very solid Louisville team with in overtime, which was
Yeah.
you don't the overtime wins. It's got to have the coach stressing a lot, but a win's a win in the end, right?
Yeah, and a real standout all cards wild performance in that game too.
Yeah. Going back at it, looks like player KWACW had a whopping 144 points. So completely kicked both of our asses, Seton. And I think it's all credited to the gentleman named Chris Bell on Louisville with a whopping 12 catches, 170 yards, and 2 touchdowns, which did not know your ball. I did not know your game, Chris Bell. I did not know your game. That was
Yeah. I
that
was
was
not
unreal.
familiar.
Not familiar at all. But
Well, that's so two Chris's did well there. The Chris's teamed up and they did well.
they
I
did.
feel like Chris ACRCWCRT. I feel like he performed so well this week, and I got cooked. I did terrible.
Same here.
Yeah, I don't know, Benny. You didn't really have a great day either, but I
No,
feel like we should dial up like Chris, the winner should get a T-shirt or something like that. Like
100%.
we got to introduce a prize here. Whenever
Yeah,
somebody has a standout performance like that, or maybe whoever wins each week, maybe we do like we send them a T-shirt or something
send
like
him a
that.
T-shirt. Maybe get him on the podcast. Clearly, he knows more ball than you and me, Seton. Which, shout out to you, Chris.
Yeah, that might be one of those things though where Chris only picked Chris because they share the same name.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah.
So I know I'm not going to give him too much credit just yet. We don't really know how he went about picking his
Yeah,
team.
yeah.
But yeah, that would be really interesting. Maybe the winner each week. I like that we just do this like sort of fly by the seat of our pants. But
Yeah,
that's the beauty of something like All Cards Wild. It's weekly, free, it's easy. We can just make up the rules as we go along. I don't
there you
care.
go.
That's what sort of that we freezy
Masters of the
mindset is
game.
all about. It's like we just do what we want.
Yes, sir.
The winner each week gets a T-shirt, and then they get to jump on the pod with us. Whether it's this one or maybe there's another one down the road that in a week or sometime later this week we do.
Yeah,
That could be pretty
that,
rad.
that
I
would be
like
a
that
ton of
dials
fun.
up the stakes a little bit.
Love it, love it. I would, yeah. That sounds awesome. I think now, I think we did forget one crazy game, one really sad upset, and Arch Manning, Texas, against Florida.
Oh boy.
Woo.
And you know what, man? I feel bad for Arch too because his schedule does not get any
Oh
easier.
no, oh no, it's only going to get harder. Which
Oh
which
brother.
does give Texas a little bit of life. Obviously, like losing 2 games in college football is really a big no-no. But
Yeah.
with their strength of schedule, I think if they can really figure it out a lot on offense, I think they can do well. I mean, I will give kudos to DJ Lagway. A couple podcasts ago, we were maybe making fun of him a little bit for throwing those 5 picks, but
Yeah.
comes out against Texas, plays a great game. So, a little golf clap for DJ
Yeah.
Lagway. Really, I gotta say, good game out of that kid, honestly.
What about so looking back at last week, any other standout performances that we hit in terms of All Card Wild,
So yeah,
or
so
do we just jump ahead?
for me, I'll give you guys the rundown of my picks. I didn't do bad exactly on the picks. Thomas Castellanos. I remember I was going to give him. There was 2 different cards you could put on with the escape artist, which would be like the 1 touchdown rushing. That didn't hit, but Born to Run, Made to Throw. He absolutely smashed that with over 5 rushing attempts. I think he had like 16 or something. So Castellanos also played a decent game. Really, actually played a lot better in like that later second half. So maybe he definitely saved you with some of those points. But that was so I guess a 50-50 there. Hit one of them, missed one. Jamari Taylor, my guy from Virginia, played a good game. He did. He played a solid game. He ran the ball well, but he did not hit the All-American card, which I did say last week was kind of a stretch. I mean, he needed to have a nuclear game, which he didn't have a bad game, but he didn't go nuclear. Malachi Tony, on the other hand, hit 5-star and also went off. And the more I think about the fact that the dude's a senior in high school, the funnier it gets to me, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then lastly, Jeremiah Franklin with sadly a pitiful loss from Boston College. Pretty sure they only put up 1 touchdown, but Jeremiah did hit big man on campus. He got that 1 catch. So I guess we went 3 for 5. So well,
That's
that's okay.
respectable.
Okay.
I'll take that. Yeah.
It's not bad. Try my hardest. It's just, with something like college football, there's a lot of what ifs. There's a lot of random stuff happening. People playing well that they shouldn't. People who play people who are supposed to play well and then they don't play well. So, yeah. Overall, pretty solid week. Should we move into week 7?
Yeah. And you know what, Bennett? All we can do is try our best.
Exactly.
That's kind of that's the general rule of thumb. We look ahead to week 7. Speaking of people that we hope do their best, Indiana, Oregon. Now, all right, look. Okay, you're a Duck. I get it. I like seeing Indiana do well because to me it's amusing
Mm-hmm.
actually. But we're gonna find this is a game that I think we're gonna learn about each team quite a bit.
Mm-hmm. Going into it once again, I do have a little bit of bias, which I will try not to show too much right now. But here's one thing: I've been in the stadium multiple times. Autzen Stadium gets real loud, and it's a really, really hard place to play in. So with Indiana here, I don't think this is a Oregon win by any chance. I think Oregon's have to go out and play a good game. For Indiana, though, this is kind of like how it was for Dante Moore stepping into Penn State with a whole whiteout. For Indiana, they're going to have to come in and really show out against Autzen. It gets really loud. There's a very strong fan base. But yeah, I think it's going to be overall a really solid game, and hopefully, hopefully a shootout. I mean, I like shootouts a little bit more than defense, but we'll see how it goes.
Looking ahead too, we also have Ohio State, Illinois.
Ohio State, Illinois. Yeah,
It's another good one.
yeah, Ohio State continues to kind of look dominant. Just receiving wise, they have so many weapons. Tate had like 180 yards last week, and I don't need to explain Jeremiah Smith anymore. We watch it every single weekend. But Illinois is also, they're ranked 17. They've been playing solid football. I think this is going to be a really hard game for them to win, but once again, it's college football. You never know. So
Yeah.
I think that should be solid one. I think another one is Bama, Missouri. That will be, I feel like the big question for Bama. If Bama wins this, Bama's, definitely in title contention. But
And look at Missouri at what 14? I want to
exactly,
say.
exactly,
Yo.
exactly. Missouri looks good. If Missouri wins this, that'd be huge for them too.
Yeah,
Um,
it's massive.
I think Bama, I think they're starting to kind of find that like they're starting to roll pretty well, and they're starting to really get there, which is good. But I think that game's gonna be a toss up too. And the final one, which is the one that we are highlighting this week with the SEC grid, is Oklahoma, Texas. So, like we were talking about, Texas has a lot to prove here. And this could be a huge win though for them if they come back and win this. But Seton, what do you think? What do you think about Oklahoma, Texas?
Oklahoma, Texas, yeah, another big one for Arch. I still have the worst time trying to say Red River rivalry. I can't.
Yeah,
I've been doing this a long time now, and I remember the old name, and now I don't know how long ago it changed to Red River
Red
rivalry,
River
but it
rivalry.
it does not flow for me
Not
at
at all.
all,
Not at all.
not one bit. Red River
Three
rivalry.
R's.
That's
Red River
yeah.
rivalry.
That's
Um,
a lot of
it
that
is.
kind of thing
It is.
for me.
Yeah. No, I totally feel you there. I would say the one thing Texas does have is they have home field advantage. So I feel like at this point this is a huge game for Arch. Arch, obviously with two pretty disappointing losses, needs to really show here that he wants to be this starting five-star caliber quarterback for Texas. And it's perfect because he's playing the number 6 Oklahoma and he's at home, so maybe he could have a hero story. I do wish well for the dude. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, we'll see exactly. We'll see how it goes.
Well, I mean, the game's at the Cotton Bowl, which
Hmm.
is basically a home game anyway
Yeah,
for Texas,
exactly.
at least the way I see it, right?
Yeah,
I do feel bad. No, well, I can't say that I feel bad for Arch Manning, um, because I mean he's got such a leg up kind of on
totally.
everybody, but he doesn't get any benefit of the doubt. He gets
None,
just a
none.
mountain of pressure because of his name and because of his heritage and family line,
Yeah, 100%.
which
It's a big
there's
name.
definitely good and bad to that, but he can't he doesn't get an inch of wiggle room.
No.
Like he's not even getting announced to like let him figure it out. Let's see what
Nope.
a hell no,
Yeah,
dude.
you got that Manning name on the back of your jersey. You need to the people. Everyone just wants you to step up and play like a Manning, right? So
Yeah.
not a lot of wiggle room, but I'm just hoping for a good game out of here. I really don't think Texas, like, they're unranked, but they shouldn't be unranked. I feel like they have so much talent that like Oklahoma shouldn't be going into this game like this is gonna be a breeze. It's still
Yeah.
Texas football. Like they're not just
You never know. Rivalry games get
they
heated.
get heated.
I mean,
Yep.
you really don't. And especially like you're saying, it's not like Texas is that far off,
Hmm.
you know? Um, that
Yeah,
it is going to be a much more difficult game than I think maybe sometimes it looks like on paper.
totally.
But
Yeah,
that yeah, Texas Oklahoma, that's our game of the week. The
that's our
league this week is a SEC league, so
SEC.
let's jump into some players and some cards
Yeah,
and see who you're looking forward to.
let's do it. Okay, y'all. So now looking into this SEC grid, right? We got a lot of really standout players. Um, from the quarterbacks, I feel like you really can't go wrong. Just considering that we're highlighting this Oklahoma Texas game, I'm gonna go with John Mateer. This dude has been playing a really just solid football on the ground, in the path, in the air. He's been pretty consistent, and I think he's gonna play consistent again. Um, for running backs, I'm gonna go with a guy who has a sick name, and that's Quintrivion Quintrivion Wisner. This dude has been injured for most of the season, but just came back last week and had two touchdowns, one in the rushing game and one in the receiving game. I think he could totally blow up this game if Texas really finds a rhythm here on offense. For wide receiver, first one I'm going to go with is Chris Brazzell the second. I didn't know much about Chris Brazzell the second coming into the college football season, but this kid has been unreal. He's been really, really good. He seems to be a staple in that Tennessee receiving attack. So I think you will see a big game from him. Wide receiver two, there's a couple guys I wanted to go with. Obviously, I really like Bernard out of Bama. Funny enough, I thought Ryan Williams was going to be the wide receiver one at Bama, and I think he still is. Except Bernard has been getting a lot of good receiving work. But all of that, I'm still going with Ryan Williams. He's coming back. Last game, he had 6 catches for 98 yards and a touchdown. He's playing good football, and I really just want to see that big Ryan Williams game where he goes off and does some crazy plays, because that's always just so entertaining. And it's gonna be hard to do it against Missouri, but I got a lot of faith in him. Lastly, we're gonna go with Bauer Sharp because I had about 2 credits left. We're gonna go with Bauer Sharp out of LSU. Doesn't get a whole lot of receiving work, but he'll definitely do the job if we're going to try to pick up some of these big cats like Mateer, Wisner, and Chris Brazzell. All right, y'all. So now coming back here, we have all of our picks, and now I'm going to explain the cards I chose and why. Starting here with John Mateer. Obviously, he's been good in the running game and the passing game, but for here, I'm going to go with Bazooka, which is over 22 passing completions. Looking back into John Mateer's games, he's been averaging 24. So it might be a little close, but I think have faith in him. I think Oklahoma's going to come out firing, and they're going to play pretty well. Now moving on to running back with Quintrivion Wisner. What I chose was student body right. I believe that, he's just getting healthy again, but he really had a good game last week, and I think that he's only going to take more steps up here. I decided to go with student body right on him with the longest rush of 25 yards and 1 rushing touchdown. I think that is something that could totally happen here with Texas. Obviously, with Arch maybe playing a little shaken up, they might go to running the football a little bit more. So maybe hope to see a big game from Wisner. Moving on to Chris Brazzell, I chose the 5-star card, which is averaging 12 yards per catch. Right now on the season, he averages 17. He seems to be seriously like Tennessee's deep threat guy. He's a big receiver. He has great, he has strong hands. I think I could see a really big game from him. And for Ryan Williams, I chose route runner, which is having over 65 yards. He smashed that last week. I think this is a big game for Bama. They're going to be going to their stars, and Ryan Williams is one of the best when it comes to being a star. And finally, with Bauer Sharp, the tight end on LSU, I just chose with big man on campus. It's another pretty safe card. He just has to get 1 catch. He averages 3 in the last 5 games. So I think all those cards should have a pretty good probability of hitting, and it's fully up to on you guys to either ride with me or not. Try not to think about last week. For me and Seton, that was just an off week for us, but we'll try to do better this one.
Yeah, you know what? It's weekly, it's free, it's easy. It's All Cars Wild. This is our podcast. That's the game. It's a great platform. It's a lot of fun. I'm happy that we're going to start getting some prizes in the mix now that we just decided that randomly.
Love it.
T-shirts. Everybody loves a free T-shirt. And we'll get some people on here maybe to talk a little bit. We'll do a couple minutes with each winner each week. which is really, really great. Good luck to your Ducks
Thank you. Thank you,
this
sir.
week. It's a big game,
It's gonna
big
be
game.
a
I know you're going to be. Where are you watching it? Do you know yet?
I will be at Autzen Stadium for this one. So
Oh, you're
I
going?
will
Sick.
I'm
Hell
gonna
yeah.
do my best to rattle Indiana as best as I can. That student section can
Yeah.
get loud. I'm really excited to be there for Shout. It's gonna be a fun one.
Yeah.
But not a big fan of all these stressful games, man. God, had to deal with Penn
Well,
State
that's
already. Barely made it through that one. So
the
hopefully,
troubles of being a good team.
troubles of being a good team, man.
That's
I
this
totally
is what it
understand that
is,
one.
man. Pressure. Pressure's a privilege, right? Isn't that what they
Hey,
say?
pressure builds diamonds too. And
That's
my
it.
diamond is Dante Moore. So I hope the best for him. But yeah,
Yeah, right on,
anyways,
right on. Well, hey, thank you again, Bennett. Thank you all for watching.
yeah.
Thank you for listening, and we'll check in with you next week.